Right in front of his home crowd and family. There he goes again.
That's huge. That's on the roof.
Worst football manager ever, and welcome to Cricket Captain 2017 and the second of this series of how to play Cricket Captain 2017. If you're brand new to this channel, then welcome, hello, you're very welcome in this channel house. Make this channel your home, and feel free to come along for the ride as we make some of these videos about how to play Cricket Captain 2017. I'm not into trying to help you become the best one you can. I think you've got to figure that out kind of for yourself. But what I'll be doing is running through different things and different elements of Cricket Captain 2017 to try to help you get to grips with the game, particularly maybe if you're really new to the game. And today we're going to be looking at batting. We looked at bowling in the last video. We're going to be looking at batting today, and we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going to take another video to look into the fielding side of things and to look into the match engine. And we're going to look in one video. We'll probably do one about picking your team and things like that, and how to what to look out for when you're picking your team and things like that. But let's get this one underway. And then also, as a heads up, I am not the fountain of all knowledge regarding this game. I know a fair bit, but I don't know everything. Also, I am kind of speaking, I don't have a script, so I might say some stuff wrong. If I do, leave comments below. I'm not going to hate you, as long as you don't hate me for saying something vaguely that might be incorrect. And if you look at the previous video, in the comments, other people have left stuff that is worth knowing about when it came to the bowling side of things. So look at the comments below this video as well. I'm sure you'll find some good stuff in the comments below. And then lastly, before we jump ahead, just to let you know, if you're interested, I might look to do a kind of let's play series of Cricket Captain 2017 as well. I'm a big fan of sports simulation games. I play a lot of Football Manager. Just started playing Motorsport Manager as well. And I've played other ones in the past as well. And so I might do a let's play with Cricket Captain 17 as well. So let me know if you're interested in that, and maybe I'll look to do that after this how to play series. But let's crack on. I want to let you know about how to do batting in this video. Okay, so I won't go too much into the match engine screen, whilst we'll look at that at another video. I won't spend time looking at it today, but I'm just going to run through a few things that you're going to want to know if you want to do batting and maybe get better at batting in this game. As you can see here, here's the screen, and on your right here you've got your batsman. Looks a little bit different to the bowling screen, right? It's supposed to, because you're batting. Obviously, you're batting. The first thing you're going to want to know is, are they left-handed or are they right-handed? And really straightforwardly, you can see here, you've got your two batsmen, Moeen Ali, and you've got Alex Hales at the moment here. Ali, obviously, LHB stands for left-handed bat, RHB for right-handed bat. So there you go. Immediately you know if they're right-handed or left-handed or not, and it might be helpful, particularly when you see up here what sort of bowler you're bowling against. Maybe you want to try and keep one of your left-handed bat or your right-handed bat in play at that time. I don't know. You choose what you want to really do. So, and you can find out a little bit about your batsmen, the batsmen that are in strike at the moment. What are they like? What are their kind of preferences? What do they tend to do? If you hover your mouse over the fielding area, below it, just here, you can see the batting preferences. It says here for Ali, batting preferences are that he's aggressive, he tends to play on the back foot, and he tends to play a lot of it down the offside. For Alex Hales here, you can see his batting preferences. He's aggressive as well. He prefers to face pace bowlers. He tends to prefer to play on the front foot, and he pretends to prefer to play shots on the leg side as well. So that is how you begin to see a little bit about what they're like. I would say the biggest key for me has been their aggression, because we'll get onto aggression in just a minute. But you can amend the batsman's aggression accordingly. And if you've got an aggressive batter, then you may as well begin to make them play, ask them to play a bit more aggressively earlier on. Whereas if you've got a more defensive batsman, they're going to be, one, no good for a one-day or a T20 match, but also the minute you start asking them to be aggressive and they start trying to swing it around, they're probably going to miss and they're probably going to get out kind of quick. So you kind of want to play to their strength as well as just recognising who you've got on the pitch. Okay, one of the first things that you can do and set up when your batsman comes in is, do you want to link your aggression? Now what that means is, when you face two bowlers at any one time. You might face a pace bowler and a spin bowler. That, as a batter, do you want that batter to play aggressively the same to both bowlers, or do you want that to be different? So you can either link it where you do want that aggression to be the same, or you can unattach it and you can maybe play really aggressive for one bowler who's maybe rubbish or is in bad form or something like that. For the other bowler, you can then maybe play a bit more defensive when you know that bowler's doing well, has got some runs, got some wickets, and he's playing really well. So maybe you want to change it accordingly. Okay, the second thing just below that you want to choose is the batting strike. Do you want a certain batsman to keep on the batting strike? Personally, now this is just a personal preference, but for me this doesn't really come into play until later on in your innings. So when you start getting your tail enders in, the last batsman in your team to come on, and maybe you've got a higher up batsman and you're wanting them to stay in for as long as they can, maybe it's worth ticking that button to keep that means that batsman will then be staying on strike as much as possible. They won't run for many singles unless it's at the end of an over. They will only run for doubles. They'll try and hit fours more often than sixes more often. It's mainly they just try and stay on the strike. In fact, they might not even try and hit a single and play more defensively in order that they don't run a single, so that they can stay in strike. Particularly works when you've got one really good batsman and one real duffer in play. So you simply can click that on and off as ever you want. Okay, we're now moving on to a bit more of the nitty-gritty side of things with batting, and that's the kind of the settled side of things and their aggressive side of things. You can see here that each batsman's got this bar here called settled, and you can see here Ali's bar is a little bit higher than Hale's, and it kind of does what it says on the tin, right? That bar is higher according to how well settled that batsman is, and according to that you can then begin to amend things like how aggressive do you want them to bat. When a batsman first comes in, they're not settled at all, they're all over the place, they're not so great. As you can see here, literally Hales, obviously he's only faced 2 balls so far this inning, so obviously he's not going to be that settled. Ali has faced 4 balls, which again isn't much, but he scored 6 runs, including a 4. So the more runs they get more quickly, but also the more confident they feel, and the higher the strike rate percentage is, the more settled they're going to feel, and the more easy it is they're going to kind of follow what you're asking them to do and actually stay in. It's going to be harder to get them out if they are more settled than if they're not. Okay, so once you kind of see and recognise how settled they are, and as time goes on, you can then begin to amend the aggression bar. Now, as you can see here, you've got a bar here. The lower the bar is, they're more defensive, and the higher the bar, the more aggressive they are, and it goes red for anger. So this bar, obviously at the moment, this would be basically Moeen Ali absolutely slogging every ball that comes his way, and if I were to go all the way to the bottom, that pretty much would be him either not even trying to hit it or defending everything. Neither of which are perfect, really, but it all depends on the game that you're playing in. Depends if you're doing a test match or a T20 or a one-day international or whatever it is you're playing. You want to kind of change this accordingly. But you can see here, there's this yellow bar here. You see that yellow bar? That yellow bar doesn't move. I'm going to be honest, I don't know 100% what that bar is, but I imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine it to basically mean the kind of the baseline, the kind of, if you want a kind of a neutral batsman who is neither aggressive nor defensive, kind of somewhere in the middle, does a bit of a mixed bag of things, then that yellow bar is probably a safe place to put him. Maybe though you're wanting to go a little bit less than that and you want him to be a bit more defensive than attacking, so go beneath that bar to something like 2 bars maybe. But maybe once he gets confident, he gets settled, he's scoring lots of runs, you want to push him up into aggressive a bit more. Now, I think that's what that yellow line's for, but don't quote me on that. You might want to check it out yourself. Don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to talk about this game. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about some of the stats that you can find out about your batsman. Best place to do it, you hover over the name of the batsman and you can see a few of their kind of basic batting stats. So you can see here, as I've hovered over Ali's name here, you can see below, it's got the ODI, One Day International, batting average. So his batting average is 25.79. That's an average number of runs that he will get in an innings, 25, nearly 26 runs an inning. So you know if he's doing well or not according to that. And then SR stands for strike rate. Now, the strike rate percentage, and you can sort of see it up here as well in the top left here, the average number of runs that a batsman will get per 100 balls. So that's why it's done as a percentage. So if his strike rate here, you can see here Ali's at the moment is 150 for this game, and Hale's is 50. That means ultimately 50% of his shots he's getting a run. Does that make sense? So strike rate at the moment, he's getting 150 runs per 100 balls. So Ali, as I hover over Ali's name, his strike rate for one-day internationals this season, I think that stat is 98.71, which is so good. Which basically means every ball that he's faced, he's basically getting a run, like in general, overall, which is a very good strike rate. Obviously, a more defensive batsman will have a lower strike rate. If you go over to Hales, you can see Hales has got a batting average of 38.64, so actually got a higher average in terms of his innings, but his strike rate is a little bit lower at 90, but still 90 is very good. Very good strike rate there. Okay, so maybe you're wanting a few more details with your stats. I know what some of us are like, and we just thrive on we thrive on the stats. So all you've got to do is click on the batsman's name. We'll go on Ali for now, and it brings up this whole new match stats screen, which is quite tasty if you want to sink your teeth into some stuff. And let me tell you a little bit about this page. So this image in the left here shows you how the batsmen are doing against different bowlers. You can see these little lines that are coming out here, and it shows you where they're getting the runs from the different bowlers. You can see at the moment fast bowlers is highlighted. So you can see here they got a 4 off a fast bowler here, and he's got 2 here, 2 runs there as well. 2 singles off his offside, and then a 4 on his on. Down here on the left, you can also flick through it, and you can select the particular bowlers as well. So we're obviously really early on in the innings, so there's not much to look at, but you can see here you could select through any of the bowlers here. And you can also look at spin bowlers to see how he's doing against spin bowlers, which obviously he hasn't faced any just yet, but that would come up there as well, and you can see how well they're doing there. And then here on the right, you just see it in a slightly different form here. You can see him getting the 4 in this section of the pitch here, and you can see where he's mainly hitting the balls. So you can see he's got 2 singles from just behind himself there. And then if you click through here on the left or the right, it says sections at the moment, you can click through and you can see different kind of stuff come up. So here you can see where the balls are placed and where he's getting the runs from, and where he's not doing so great and having a near miss as well. So obviously that was a pretty close call there already in the first over. But anyway, you can see how that he's getting on there and what he's doing with the different types of bowls that are coming his way. And then if you want to see one last thing as well, you click to the right again, you can see the pitch map, and again you see a sort of a similar thing. Rather than the height of where it was at in accordance to the wicket, you can see the sort of the length of the bowls that he's facing and how well he's doing against a full length, against a good length, against a short length, and how he's coping with all those different ones. So it's quite helpful, particularly when you get later on in the game, to really see how your batsmen are doing, because it helps build up a bit of a feeling when you're doing a full season. To see how well these batsmen are doing is kind of a helpful thing to know, to be aware of their form. Okay, so all of these stats that we're looking at on this screen are particularly for this match. But if you click on personal here, you can begin to see a few more details about the batsmen, including where they play, they're born, their age, debuts, batting preferences there in a little bit more detail. You can also see their batting form here as well. So this would be the batting form for their last 12 innings that they've faced. And you can see what averages they've been getting and also what type of games it's been. So pink here represents one-day internationals. You can see the yellows are one-day games. You've got the greens there that are SE games. So you can see like a good collection of stats, how they're getting on, and really what their form is like. Because in cricket, form is everything. If a batsman's playing well regularly, he's going to keep playing well. This is really good, and you just want to keep using him. However, when form drops and players are not playing so great, that they might really cause your team damage and not add much at all. So it's so helpful to keep in touch with what's going on with the batsman's form during the games, but also before and after the games as well. Okay, so bringing it back to the match screen now, you can generally see here, just so you can see, just in case you're unaware of a general scorecard feel, you can see how many runs the batsman's got, how many balls he's faced, how many fours he's got, how many sixes he's got, and you can see down here how many extras are being scored there, any leg byes, wides, etc., no balls, all come up under extras there, and you can see how things are going. Now, similar to the bowling side of things, you can either watch each ball at a time, so what I'll do is I'll just bring this to defensive a little bit more. You can play each ball at a time and it'll come up here on the left. Obviously Ali just scored 1 run there. Also, as you're playing the overs, you can see here the ball represents who is on strike. So Alex Hales is now on strike. We'll go for him, see how he does. He scores 1. Ali has another ball here. Oh, and something's happened. Oh, and he scored a 4. What a lad. What a hero. So you get the highlights there, which is nice. Let's keep going. So we've gone through an over like that. So you can play an over like that, or you can just click the play over button, and that will then play the over in one fell swoop, and will give you a highlight of anything exciting that happens. Let me just keep doing that until we get a highlight. So we've gone through a good 4 or 5 overs now, and something's gone on there. Oh, and someone's out. Who was that? I think that was Hales. Oh, it's Ali. Ali's out. Oh dear. Bowled from Rabada. So now, actually, it's quite helpful. As we played a few more bowls, you can see here now we've got Joe Root coming in, and he's obviously really unsettled. So we'll put him defensive just for a little bit. But you can see here Hales is a bit more settled now. I'll just put him on up to yellow. Probably a little bit early to put him up to yellow, but we'll see how he goes. Let's just go through a few more overs to see how he does. Someone's just got a 4 there. I think that was Joe Root get a 4 there. Brilliant, lovely stuff. There's one more thing that I want to kind of show you that you might not be aware of. I've already shown you how if you hover over the fielding to see the batting preferences, but if you actually click the field, you can actually see where some of these. You can see where all the fielders are placed at the time, and who's placed where actually, which is quite helpful. But also you can get to see where the runs are being scored by that batsman. So Rabada to Root, you can see here he's just got a single there, and that's about it. But if I come back, let's go to Hales, who's got obviously a few more here. You can see here that you can cycle through show the shots since the 5th over, 6th over. I'll go right from the beginning. Batsman, Hale, bowler. Let's go all bowlers. You select the bowlers there, and you can see here where he's getting his runs from. It's just another way to see this. Also another way to see the different fielding positions if you want to get a bit more familiar about them. So you can just see so much. It's something that I love about this game, that you can see so many of the stats, and you can really follow the game ball by ball. You can breeze through an innings in 10 minutes if you want, but in honesty, I like going through it like carefully, like a fine-tooth comb, and really kind of picking apart what's going well and what isn't, and playing it that way. Now, I'll be honest, I think with this game, I think you can tweak more of the bowling and fielding side of things in comparison to the batting side of things. If you imagine yourself as a cricket captain, you're not going to be able to input the batsmen that much. Once they're out on the pitch, they're just out, and you can probably shout some stuff and chat to them at drinks, but that's about it. Whereas really with bowling and fielding, you've got a bit more control of it. But I still think the game allows you to have some element of control over what's going on, so that you're giving your players the best opportunity to win the games. But anyway, that pretty much brings it to an end for this video. I hope it's been helpful. Maybe there's some more stuff that I didn't have written down in my little book that maybe you would love to add to this. If that's you, leave a little comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts. But thanks for joining me today. Join me again next time when we'll be looking at fielding. How do we set the field out well? How can we amend the field? How do we work with the limitations and the rules and all that sort of stuff? So thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this stuff, then do hit the like button, and would love to hear your thoughts and your feedback and anything you want to add to this. Also, if you do enjoy and you want to follow along these videos more and more, then hit the subscribe button as well, and click that little bell button where you can be notified every time I upload a video. And thanks for joining me today. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. See you later.